Good afternoon, everyone. I'm the Ranting Monkey. No, this is not a Lords of the Night or a Monkey in the Morning. This is actually my annoyance at Twitter only giving us 240 characters. Um, Hi, Satsu. How you doing, man?
What up, doubt?
I'm glad you joined me because you were kind of involved in the conversation that sparked all this.
What happened?
The Sophane thing.
Oh.
And as a conversation, okay, let's lay it out. Sophane used to be, well, is still part of Poisoning the Well, and they started as an atheist channel, and then they moved into anti-SJW content. And as they've stopped making their content on stream as much, Sophane especially has become a little bit more political on his Twitter feed. Thank you, Campbell. Hippity hoppity, blacks don't work properly. That seems insensitive. But he's become, and he is definitely more leftist in his political leanings. And occasionally I'll have to remind people, me and him are friends, even though we disagree. When me and him do disagree, it's a political disagreement. But something stood out to me. Somebody said that Sophane seems to be unfair to the other side. And it amazes me because I'm unfair to my other side all the time. Mm-hmm. All the time. I'm not generous in my interpretations of that. I mean, I flat out say, Ocasio-Cortez is a fucking moron. I don't say she made mistakes. I call her a fucking moron.
Right.
But since the people will agree with me, it's okay for me to make those kind of unfair assessments. Jean says Sophane and Fat Pat are different in their political stances. Yeah, they are, and that's okay. And that's kind of what I really wanted to talk about. Is we have to fix society, man. We have to. We've gotten to a point where if you disagree with somebody politically, you're not allowed to speak to them.
Right.
That makes no sense. Do you know how many me and Satsu could not speak to each other if that was true? We had a disagreement just last night.
Yeah. Like, that's it. No more Lords of the Night, guys. Me and Monkey disagreed on something.
Yeah, it ruins everything we've ever done together. We gotta call it quits. I mean, we had our disagreement, and then we went on to have a great game stream. And I mean, if you don't like Sophane, that's fine. That's your business. But some of the it's the how can you be friends with him kind of thing that gets me.
Yeah. Yeah.
On Monkey in the Morning, sometimes on the weekends, I have Dave on, what's his last name? Dave Bishop, a liberal penguin on Twitter. And the audience hates him, man. They absolutely hate him. They get all kinds of shit about how he's unfair and how he says if and this instead of, giving a specific example. If this happened, I do the same thing, but I'm doing it about the other side, so I'm forgiven. Dave has always been very fair. I mean, we fuck with each other back and forth because we do definitely have different politics, but we've always been friendly to each other. And it seems so weird to me that people think that you can't be friends with somebody because you have a slight political disagreement, even a major political disagreement. Campbell, thank you. Cortez is that kid that smelt of fish on the bus. Wow. We don't hate Dave. We love him in his own special way. And you might, but yeah, the last time he was on, man, the chat was just harsh, very harsh, which is fine. You can be harsh to people, but we have to get past this idea that you can't be friends with people if they disagree with you politically.
Well, it's become kind of an issue of like morality, and in a lot of instances where they're just like, that person is definitively a horrible person. So the fact that you would want to be even in proximity to that person in any way has to make you a horrible person too. Like it doesn't matter what your views are. Doesn't matter how much you've helped people. Doesn't matter how much on our side you are or how much of a decent person I know that you are. The fact that you have friends who I could possibly not like, and you're okay with that means that everything I must know about you must be a lie. Like you're just as bad as they are. because you want
Yes.
to talk to them.
Pumpkin Trucker, thank you. Didn't realize you were streaming. Got the notification. Thought you actually made a video that'll teach me. You know what? I may make a video about this. It's just whether or not I can put enough together to do it where it wouldn't just be me talking like I am right now. The weird thing about this for me is that me and Sinatra have had worse public fights than me and Fane ever have.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow I'm not supposed to like Sofane because he disagrees with me less. I don't get it. I don't hate people based on their political views.
Yeah.
I hate stupid people. And the only thing you could really ever do to me to make it where I won't talk to you again would be to call me a liar. That's the only thing that if you look, I make mistakes like anybody else, but I go out of my way not to lie. Yes, I've lied in the past. We're all human. We've all done it, but I've never found a benefit of doing so. So I do my very best not to ever lie. So being called a liar drives me insane.
Yeah, you know, hypocrite is my trigger word because I fucking hate hypocrites. So that's why that time that me and Sofane really went at it, and I was like at his throat because he called me a hypocrite for some shit. You know, I don't fucking play that shit.
Well, there have been times somebody have pointed out my hypocrisies, and they're right. Because we all occasionally have them, and it depends on what kind of hypocrisy it is. If somebody points out two different things, and I wish I could remember the example, but somebody pointed it out to me, and I had to sit there and really stop and think, like, okay, I need to figure out what it is I think on this, because I'm with you. Hypocrisy is bad, and if it is real, you need to sit down and figure it out. Thank you, Terry. Be honest. If you're not a liar, what musical instrument are you, Terry? I'm a tuba. Ask your mom. No,
no, and it depends, you know.
Oh yeah, sure.
It really depends because, like, the type of hypocrisy that I really can't stand is people who have a very definitive and firm stance on something, and then literally you change one variable to that scenario, and they're just like, "Oh, now I'm completely fine with it." Where it's just like, you're a deplorable, horrible, disgusting human for even entertaining the thought of this idea. And then you're just like, but the person was black. And they're like, oh, well, okay. It's
okay.
It's like, no. That type of hypocrisy I can't deal with. But I'm not immune to hypocrisy because I walk around talking about, I don't give a fuck about shit all day. I don't give a fuck about this. I don't give a fuck about that. Satsu gives no fucks. Yet I spend all of my time engaging directly in this shit that I claim I don't give a fuck about. Yes. All day.
Real quick, Jean asked if I'll patch things up with Sofane. Me and Sofane are cool. It's not me and him that are having a problem. It's people who don't seem to understand why me and him can get along that I'm talking about here. I get along with a lot of people that I don't agree with politically. You might see us even fight on Twitter, but we're still friends, or at least friendly in DMs, or if they come on stream. And it's it's just weird to me that we're at this place in society where you're not supposed to like people you disagree with.
Yeah.
That you're supposed to see them as, and you said it right just a little while ago. It's a morality thing. Mm-hmm. We've gotten to this point that if you don't agree with me on my politics, you're obviously morally wrong.
Yeah. And I can't be seen with a person who thinks the way that you do because my base really likes to fucking associate me with people in that way. So, you know, like I said, and regardless of what your views are or what you display to the public or what you've put out there or whatever, you like to be in the company of insert person here. So all of their views are attached to you now.
Yeah, they're a sinner, and now you've been hanging out with the sinners.
Yeah, you've been tainted.
You've been tainted. You're a sinner. Yeah, I enjoy people who make me laugh, and that's more important to me most of the time than your politics. Because believe it or not, guys, there's stuff to laugh at on all sides. On all sides, there's stuff to laugh at.
Mhm.
And yeah, if you can make me laugh, we'll probably get along really well. I don't care about your politics. Now that's not to say I won't argue politics or that I agree with somebody all the time just because we're getting along. Again, politically, me and Fane don't agree pretty much at all, from what I can tell. But that's not isn't part of the problem. The people's perception that about half of Sofane's hot takes are actually bait. You know, this is. I'm glad you brought that out because this is something I was talking about briefly earlier. Most of the people that I've seen that follow me or that I've follow that have a problem with Fane's hot takes where he's obviously baiting somebody have no problem if I do it because we're doing it in different ways. I'm doing it more from a conservative bent where he's doing it from a liberal one. Thank you, Chicago Mike. I'm a Republican. My wife is a Democrat, so obviously I hate all Democrats.
That's right. I hate them so much, I fuck them.
Your wife is a sinner, sir. That's part of it. A lot of what irritates people about Fane is he does little hot takes that they're gotchas. Of course they are. But nobody has a problem if I do that. Because they agree with my politics and the way I'm doing it makes it okay. John says, will you chat either with AOC or Alyssa Milano? I would love to. I have no problem with them. I think they're dumb and say dumb things, but why wouldn't I talk to them? That's what I don't get it. I mean, there's so few people that I'd be like, absolutely, I'm never talking to them ever. Isn't it strange when parents disown kids for having different political opinions and religion? Yeah, it's also strange when the kids do it back to their parents for the same reason. We saw that in 2016. Remember the BuzzFeed?
Yeah, this Thanksgiving.
Yes. Christian, thank you. Have some Mr. Noodles. Call out the bowl. I'm officially calling out the bowl. And Cryptic, thank you. I agree with about 60 to 70% of your views, but I still listen to you. I'm more right than you, but hey, it's life. Yeah, I actually angered several people in our chat last night disagreeing with you, Satsu.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. One came very close to calling me a liar, and like, so I just stopped discussing that before I got angry. So like I said, that is the only thing that'll anger me. Call me a fucking liar, and then we're gonna have words. But yeah, guys, you guys should be out there enjoying people. If you don't get along with their political views, that's fine. You don't have to, but that don't vilify them in your mind because they disagree with you. Yes.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, yes, there are people out there that are, I'm using air quotes, evil. And some of them probably have political opinions that they put out there that you disagree with. That doesn't mean everybody you disagree with is evil. What were you going to
say? What's really amazing is the fact that a lot of these people refuse to speak to others that they disagree with. Like they won't talk to them unless it's argumentative. Like unless they're like saying snarky shit back and forth to each other, or whatever. They usually won't sit down and have an actual conversation. But for some reason, seem to know what all of their views are and can relay them to you. No problem. Now, most of the time, it's usually either an over-exaggeration or a kind of twisting their words or saying what people love to say. They're basically saying this because that's a really popular thing where somebody says something. You're like, you essentially said this.
Kathy Newman over with Jordan Peterson. So what you're really saying is.
Yeah. And, they're just like you seem to have or appear to have such a firm grasp on the views of people who you refuse to speak to.
Yeah. And, the 2016 election, I think was the worst I've ever seen. And somebody said it's always been like this. To some extent, sure. But I mean, back in the day, we used to have at least religion kept people together while their politics might drive them apart a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, how do you say that name? Sarus? How do I say that, man?
Shit, beats me.
I'm gonna call you Sal. No, that sounds like that's a pig. Sao. I'm gonna call you Sao. Us versus them. I think this newest push for late abortions is A play by the DNC and RNC to make 2020 about abortion rather than government overreach, overspending. I think it's going to be about all of those, actually. I don't think the DNC really wants late-term abortions to be a big topic for them because it's not a winner. But it is something that's going to drive people apart. It's going to have people looking at each other suspiciously.
I was looking at the people trying to pronounce his name in the chat.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know how to say it.
If I knew what it was, what language it was supposed to be, then I could probably give you based on wherever it comes from.
Here's the thing, Sayo. I suck with names anyway, so that's not just you. But you have 3 vowels there together, and I'm not sure what those are supposed to sound like when they're together. Yeah, I'm horrible with names. I'm horrible with easy to pronounce names. So it's an Irish name. Okay, and what is it? Somebody said Saoirse? Saoirse? Irish people spell things wrong because Sean is spelled S-E-A-N. And that's scene. We all know that scene. Anyway, I do think that the abortion debate is going to cause a divide in people because there's going to be one side that thinks that they're protecting women and the other side that thinks they're protecting children. And it's hard to reconcile that. But with the 2016 election, I saw so many people on Facebook because I used to be on Facebook then. And all of the people on my Facebook, these were friends. These weren't like, I wasn't in some Facebook group. These were, family and friends. And so many of them, if you voted for Donald Trump, just get rid of me now. Like, what? What? Really?
Yeah, well, and it also assumes, and that's the putting people in boxes and the generalization thing. When we talk about like lazy politics, like people, or when I call people slacktivists, they associate you with the label or a title, and the consensus is you agree with everything that I have associated with said title. So I don't have to argue with you. I don't have to talk with you. I don't have to discuss anything with you because all of the things that I've associated with this label, I know what they all are. So you're not a unique person with your own unique thoughts who maybe approach this at a different path. If you like said thing, then you absolutely have you like it for the reasons that I said you do. So if you're a Trump supporter, you can only be a Trump supporter for the reasons that I have laid out. If it's not that, too bad, because I'm not going to talk to you anyway. So there's no way for me to know. And it's easy. That's an easy way to go about politics or debate or anything like that, because you're like, I don't have to try. I don't have to think. I don't have to utilize that useless thing called nuance. I can just label people a certain thing, pick some associations with that label. And that way I know all of my opponents, I know what they all think because I labeled them this thing. It's like, it's super easy to do.
It's lazy. It's lazy as fuck.
It is.
Here's the thing, guys. You should see. How do you know what everybody else is thinking? I mean, you can look at I know you're against abortion or I know you're for abortion. That means I know you supported Trump or you hated Trump. Not necessarily true.
Yeah. And that I'm glad you brought that up too, because that's a really interesting way that these things intersect, even though they don't belong together. Where it's just like we're having a conversation about abortion or anti-abortion. Literally anybody could hold one of those views, but because it is a view that I don't like, and I associate things that I don't like with Trump supporters, you don't like abortion, therefore you must also be a Trump supporter. And it's just like, I could be more left than you. I could be the most democratic Democrat you probably ever met, but because I don't like or I'm for abortion or don't like abortion or whatever, you can just casually give me whatever label you associate with, other people you don't like. It's so weird how that works because they don't have to be related at all.
No,
like,
at
not
all.
even remotely.
And here's the thing, even if they were, just because somebody is a Trump supporter doesn't mean they're not decent people,
Yeah.
Or if somebody is a Trump hater, orange man bad kind of guy, doesn't mean they're not decent people. And we've mentioned this so many times. I, for the most part, believe the people I disagree with are still good people, and they're coming at it from a good way, or in their view, a good way. They're I don't think many people are out there really to be evil. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think even the people who are supporting late term abortions are like, oh, we get to kill babies. It's just not what they think they're doing the right thing. And but it's no, you're malicious. You're a horrible person. You want to kill those babies. It you can't look at life that way, or you are going to end up with a society like we have right now, a society where nobody can talk to each other because, oh my God, they disagree with me on Trump or trade. Some of the stuff that people hate other people for is fucking retarded.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just like some of the most simply I've seen friendships of 10, 15 years of people just like, yeah, we've gone through all this shit all through our lives, but this right here, yeah, it's over now.
Yeah, you disagree with NAFTA, you bastard.
Yeah.
Like,
it's crazy, man.
And I'm not here trying to get anybody to like Fane. And like I said, me and Sinatra have had bigger fights than me and Fane ever did. I'm not trying to get you to like Sinatra. I'm not trying to get you to like me or Satsu even.
Yeah.
But we do, as a society, need to stop all of this us versus them shit to the point where we can't talk to each other about anything else. I've even seen people having a decent conversation, you know, say about something random like a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody will jump in. Well, he's a Trump supporter. Like, and has nothing at all to do with the conversation.
Yeah, nothing at all. But we've seen it before. Like we've memed it where people are just like, you're just like, hey, I heard this movie was pretty good, and you're like, oh yeah, I heard it was pretty good too. And some other person interjects, like, yeah, but that person's a Trump supporter. You're really gonna believe them? It's just
exactly like, yes.
What the
I've
fuck
literally
does that have
seen
to
that
do with anything? You
it's
mean
like,
their ability to be able to tell if a movie is decent is like what the fuck are you talking about?
The real thing there isn't that you're not allowed to trust their judgment. It's that they are a bad person. That's all you need to know ever.
Yeah, so, and you're not supposed to share any views with bad people.
Nope.
But I'm just like, well, I also asked this person if breathing oxygen was awesome, and they told me, yeah. So you guys share that. What are you gonna do about it?
Some of them will start holding their breath,
which is I wish that was true.
Rambler, who by the way is one of the people that was in that conversation. Well, it's not the people I disagree with or dislike; it's the arguments and the way they want things done. Again, I don't have a problem with people arguing politics. My problem is that they, like with Sofane, I've seen him make arguments and people jump on him. They're like, "Oh, you're baiting," and that's something somebody mentioned earlier. But I've made those exact same arguments using people on the left instead of people on the right, or a position on the left instead of a position on the right, and nobody has a problem with it. Nobody that thinks he's an asshole for the way he does things ever jumps on me for it because he's on the wrong side.
Yeah. And it's easy to fall into those inconsistencies. Like,
sure it is.
Nobody's immune to it. Everybody has bias or whatever. And like Monkey said before, it ain't about you just being friendly with everybody, even people you disagree with. Because there's some people I just don't like. Like, I just don't like. Like Tonka, I don't fucking like Tonka. And with that being said, I don't care about his views. I don't care what he thinks or believes. I don't want to talk to him because I think he's a fucking asshole. And that's just full stop. Like it doesn't matter. Even if he agreed with everything that I agree on, I still wouldn't want to be friends with Tonka because fuck Tonka.
Yeah, because no, and I'm with you on that too. I mean but that's a personality thing.
Well, that's what I was saying though. There's a difference because I don't want people to misunderstand us and say, you're supposed to be trying to make friends with the people you disagree with.
No,
if you don't like them. It's like no.
If you don't have to be,
you don't like them.
You don't have to even like people that are on the same side as you. There's a lot of people, I'm using air quotes, on my side that I don't like. And there's a lot of people on the other side that I don't like. I'd still be willing to talk to all of them. It probably wouldn't go very well, but I'd talk to them. But the idea that because you disagree, you can't talk to them, that's the problem. If they disagree with me, I can't talk to them. That is a problem, no matter left, right, whatever. Wait, who's Tonka? We're not getting into Tonka right now. Tonka's on YouTube. Look him up. There's plenty to find out about him. I thought Sofane was a dumb cookie. It's fine to think he's dumb if you want to. That's up to you.
Basically, what I want to relay is if you don't like somebody, that's fine. But if I am cool with somebody or on talking terms or friendly with somebody, don't come asking me why I'm friends with that person or how could I be friends with that person. That's my whole thing. It's just
well, see, I get what you're saying. I do. It's who I'm friends with. None of your fucking business. But for me, it's not just that. It is the idea that you can't be. That's what bothers me. Thank you, Princess Unicorn Nipples, with the donation with no message. Thank you so much. What bothers me about that is what I see in society as a whole. And we're getting to that point where the idea of being friends with someone you disagree with is wrong. It's blasphemy. To the point where somebody will go, how can you like that person? Like, because I do. I mean, it's so foreign to some people to like people you disagree with. That, I mean, that's not good for society. That's not how we advance, y'all. Rambler says he's not dumb. I've seen some pretty smart arguments from Fane. Look, when it comes to politics, I think he's wrong most of the time. Which he might say something and I go, that's dumb. But I wouldn't say he's dumb, where I actually think AOC actually is a moron. But it's the arguments I get that bother me more than anything else.
Yeah.
Because it shows that this is sunk in. And it's perfectly fine to fight for your values. Absolutely. But not to the point where you're not going to talk to somebody because they have different values, unless you're talking like this is going to make us into warring factions. I mean, we're not tribal here. We're not going to start throwing spears at each other because we disagree, for fuck's sake. Or maybe we are. Maybe that's where we're headed. Except for it's modern day America, so instead of spears, it'll be bullets, you know?
Well, like I said, I am 100% down with taking some location, quarantining it and evacuating it and putting all the people who have a problem with each other to the point of wanting to kill one another in that box and be like, y'all got 48 hours to do whatever the hell you want. And whoever's left, if you're still sane enough, then maybe we'll let you back into society.
Functional said, did Monkey just call Sofane a spear chucker? I called him and me a spear chucker. Thank you.
A possible spear chucker.
That's right. We're on opposite sides. We're throwing them at each other.
That's right. It's called LA.
It's called LA. Yeah. No, I'm with you. You know what we should do? We should take one of the square states, because there are a few, fence it off, throw all of the people who hate each other enough to kill each other in there, put them close to each other, and just let them do whatever they want to do.
You know, it would be fucking fascinating if it turns out that they all have fucking terrier syndrome, and they all get in there and they're like, now you're face to face, now you're shoulder to shoulder with the people who you hate, the people who you want to kill and dox and all that shit like that. Here you are, and they're all too bitch to fucking do anything about it. Like, so they just like come to an agreement.
Jim Healy said Carlin had an idea about using square states for criminals. He actually it was to use all 4 of them, and it was not just for criminals. He had various different kinds of people. Were they all different kinds of criminals? I can't remember. And then he said pay-per-view that shit to pay for the budget deficit. Are you planning world domination, Monkey? No, I don't want to control the world. I don't want Candace Owens using me as a example in one of her speeches. See what I did there? Yeah. Sorry guys. This was it's too long to type out all what I want to say here. And for the most part, it's this. Just because somebody disagrees with you politically does not mean they're a bad person. And a lot of people, I think, really need to take a look at what's making them mad about something. Because if you're blaming the behavior, but you're perfectly fine with that same behavior from somebody else, which, by the way, we would call hypocrisy, it's not the behavior that's bothering you. It's their position. It's their ideology, their left or right bent. And don't let it make you a hypocrite, because hypocrisy is stupid.
Satsu hates hypocrisy.
Hashtag Satsu hates hypocrisy.
You don't want Satsu to hate you too, do you? Just kidding.
You know what? You know what else I've seen, and this one always makes me laugh.
What?
Is guys who will say that an obviously beautiful woman is really ugly because she has a different politic than them.
Oh, yeah, where they're just like, she's not that attractive. Like, dude, please. You'd be if she was on your side and spouting your politics, you'd be like, hell yeah, I'd hit that any day. But you're acting like your dick doesn't work all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It's just stop it. Cut it out. You could say.
Yeah. So that's one of those newspaper ones. Stop it. You know you're lying.
Because I'm just like, look, there are some women on the opposition who I'm just like, I will fuck her in the middle of a disagreement. Like, we could be having an argument about this topic right now, and I would still have sex with that person. Like, cut it out.
No, but man, they have that different politics. So she's not attractive at all. I would never fuck that. Like, bitch, please. You would pay to fuck that. Stop it. Or they're all Republican. What? No, I that just makes me laugh so much. And I think I saw Nicole Arbor tweet about that the other day, because somebody just called her ugly. And you might not think she's the most attractive woman in the world, but she's not ugly.
Yeah.
But I know you're the ugliest bitch ever. Like, really?
I always thought those questions were weird. When we get those, like, would you fuck Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? I'm like, under the doctrine that you don't stick your dick in crazy.
No,
maybe not. But
look, I don't even find her all that attractive, but she's not horrible to the point you couldn't get it up.
No, like when she's making not political faces, like when she's just looking normal, like any pictures you see of her where she's like not having a debate or arguing or something, she looks fine. But it's when she gets serious, like when her eyes start to fucking
bug out
and she gets cross. I'm just like, holy shit.
Obelisk Titan, thank you. Can't see any other way without mass violence. No, we need to get back to a point where we can be friends with people we disagree with. Here's what I'm gonna recommend: have an argument with somebody you disagree with politically, and then go have a beer with them, for fuck's sake, and talk about sports, talk about family, talk about movies you like.
Yeah.
Somebody up earlier in the chat said that when they know that they disagree with somebody politically in real life, what they do is they just avoid politics.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how many people do that in real life.
Well, I can't remember where I heard this, but there was somebody I was talking to that said one of the best ways or the way that they should start holding debates from now on is have you talk to that person for the first half about random shit and then have you two debate. Like talk about regular mundane topics, just normal stuff and chat about whatever, and then have your debate.
That's actually interesting. That's an interesting idea.
Yeah, because you'd be surprised how much common ground you can find and how your approach to that person is different once you realize, like, I am talking to another human being.
Yeah, you should be able to reconcile with communists. LOL, idiot. Well, why not? Why can't you? And I'm not talking about reconciling your politics with them, but have them buy you a beer and then laugh at them for engaging in capitalism. Jaeger Pony, thank you. I disagree with my entire family politically, and we're all still friends. I am the black sheep of my family. My family is very liberal. However, it's great because they also all think I'm really funny, even though most of the time I'm making fun of things they like.
Most of my family doesn't give a shit about politics because where we grew up, none of that shit mattered. So
Don't you think that might be a better way for society to go? I mean, it's sad to say that, most people stop caring about politics, but I don't know, man. Watching so many people just shatter and break friendships over fucking politics, like, really?
Yeah.
Be better off if all y'all did was watch old reruns together. It's like the real life version of the Lone Ranger. I'm not sure what we're talking about there. Blind girl can read. She got that read chat out loud app. Yeah, blind girl's here. She's blind, as it says in the name. Monkey and Satsu, thank you, Chicago Mike. Monkey and Satsu, my wife's and I political discussion can get heated, but we love it, and at the end we still love each other. Yeah, I mean, I love politics. I love arguing. I like this stuff, but I never take it to a point where I'm going to hate somebody over it.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous, man.
If I hate you, it's going to be for something besides your opinion.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, once again, everything has a limitation.
Sure. If you actually believe in killing babies, I'm probably going to hate you for your opinion.
Yeah. Just like for example, if I had somebody who was pro-choice and they're just like, I want to be able to get abortions whenever and however I want to, and I'd be like, yeah, we might not be cool. And then somebody comes along and they're like, I'm against abortion, for whatever reason, and I think that you should just die on the table if need be, in order to save that baby. And I'm like, yeah, I don't really like you either. It's just like, both of y'all are generally unlikable, even though y'all carry different views. And people dictate like, well, you agree with this particular view, so that person should be okay. And it's like, no, they're both pretty unlikable. Sorry.
Jean asked if me and Scribe will debate each other. I can't think of a friend I talked to online I haven't had an argument with online.
Yeah.
Anybody that I've talked to with any regularity. Let's see. Me and Scribe have argued many times. You and me did last night. You and I have argued a little bit before. Last night was probably the most we've disagreed on something.
Yeah, we've had disagreements about. It's usually perspective things, though.
Yeah,
like it's not really anything direct, like actual beliefs for the most part, because I think we're in alignment on a few different things. And even if we're not, like, it's not. We never really got into a position where it was a need to debate it. But perspective things is what we usually get in debates about.
Somebody asked, my whole family or my kids similar to me politically. The vast majority of my family is very, very liberal. My daughter is kind of close to me. My oldest son is apolitical, really. And my youngest son, me and him argue quite a bit on politics. Monkey, what is hate sex? And can you get me too'd after? Hate sex is when you guys really don't like each other, but there's so much sexual tension you do it anyway. And can you get me too'd? I suppose so. You can for anything, I guess.
Yeah, you can get me too'd for almost anything. You can even get me too'd for doing nothing. Which we've learned from a couple people.
Lindsay said, I never figured you two to disagree on a lot. Well, like Satsu said it perfectly. It's perspective when we do disagree, and it's how I think disagreement should be. It's like, okay, you have that opinion, I have this one. Here's my opinion, there's yours. All right, let's move on with our lives. Let's go kill some zombies. I mean,
oh shit! Somebody just mentioned that I started a premiere. Yeah, it's Monster Hunter stuff. If you guys want to check it out, that's cool. I'm actually over there. I'm about to be over there in the chat right now. It's just a Monster Hunter video. There's no commentary or anything, but there was a new collaboration mission where they combined The Witcher 3 with Monster Hunter, and
that's what you were talking about last night, right?
Yeah, I did my whole first attempt. It's kind of long too. Like, it's not a short video. It's because the collaboration mission was kind of hefty. So go check it out if you want. If not, that's fine. It'll be uploaded after the premiere anyway. So
Okay, and I do want to address this because we are going to wrap this up. This was just supposed to be a short one. Cynical Lindsay says, to be fair, both extreme sides act like a religion. And she was responding to Andrew Joyner. I remember maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, everybody on, and I'm using air quotes, this side was all up in arms because the other side would never talk to them. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
They won't talk to us. And they'd say, well, they act like a religion. If you're not part of them, then you can't. It's come full circle. It's come back to the other side. If you don't think like me, then you're not in my church.
Yeah.
Jessica says, at least you and Scribe can debate with civility, Monkey, unlike other morons. Me and Scribe have gotten heated, but never to the point of fuck you, I hope you die or something like that. It's like we've had some pretty tense disagreements. To the point where when we did the segue out of it, it was, I mean, like, I don't even know where to go from here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, stop treating your goddamn politics like a religion, and a religion to the point. You guys are taking your politics as seriously as fanatical Muslims take their Bibles or whatever they use, their Qurans, sorry. And you need to stop it. It's making y'all look like assholes and hypocrites. But yeah, if you can't be friends with somebody, that's fine. But if you can't figure out why I'm friends with somebody, keep it to yourself. I don't give a fuck what you think about my friends.
Yeah, that's on you, man. You know what? And I know we're about to end it, but this was a thing that happened. Like, this is a high school thing, man. Like, back in the day, I used to have people like, such and such doesn't like that person. And I'm just like, oh, that's cool. And they're like, yeah, well, you're friends with them, so you should probably not talk to them. And I'm like, no, that's not how that works.
Yeah.
Like, if those two have a problem, then they can work it out. I've even had people confront me like, hey, I don't like that person, and you were hanging out with them. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, well, I don't like that. I'm like, well, get over it. I don't have a problem with this person. Now, if they done something to you, that's y'all business, and y'all gonna have to work that out. And if you don't want to be friends with me because I'm friends with them, then you just lost a friend. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm not about to not be friends with somebody because you don't like them. That ain't got shit to do with me.
Jessica says, oh ho ho, that was funny. I nominate Monkey to replace that idiot Trevor Noah as host of the Daily Show. I could do better than him without a writing team. And all I would have to do is get one good joke a night. Because he's got none. He is so bad at that. I didn't even know who he was when they brought him in to replace Jon Stewart. Mm-hmm. And there were people who had problems with him from jokes he told before. I'm like, I don't even know this guy. Let's see. And I've watched it. He's just not funny. I don't know if it's just the jokes are too hard for him to understand, so he has trouble telling them, but they're just not funny.
Well, the first stand-up I ever seen him do was actually pretty funny. Like when he first came over here, mm-hmm. A lot of his jokes was just like, getting used to America and stuff or whatever, and the difference between there and here. And he was pretty funny, but he eventually got more political, and the more political he got, the less funny he became. So,
yeah. I don't know. Jon Stewart must have been way more necessary to that show than it seems. Because, yeah, he's not funny on there. Trevor Noah is not funny on there. And then if you watch, like, the shows that have spun off from there, people like Colbert and Samantha Bee. And Colbert is at least sometimes funny, but Samantha Bee, she's not funny at all.
Yeah.
Her best jokes are just sad. Her best jokes are vagina jokes, because that's what women do now. But yeah, we're veering off, and we do have a Lords of the Night here in 3 hours. So we're going to let people go get dinner and stuff before they come hang out with us again. But guys, before we go, I have to tell you, tonight on 2 Cents Plus, we will be playing 7 Days to Die at about 11:15 tonight. Mm-hmm. And we'll be giving out a copy of Far Cry 5.
Yes, we will.
And next Friday, on the day it releases, we'll be giving out a copy of Far Cry New Dawn. So make sure you come hang out with us and listen to us, because we're funny as fuck anyway, but also for a chance to win. So hopefully we'll see you there, and also see you tonight on Lords of Night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, right here on this very channel. Clothing thought? Any clothing thoughts there, Satsu?
I'm dropping the link to the premiere if you guys want to head over there and come and chat with me in the premiere. Like I said, it's just Monster Hunter stuff. If you're interested in either The Witcher or Monster Hunter, they did a collaboration event. That's where I'm at in the chat. If you guys want to talk, hop over there. Just drop the link. But yeah, otherwise, I'll see you guys on the regularly scheduled shit tonight.
All right, and guys, it's okay to be an asshole, but be the right kind of asshole. We'll see you later.